This is Irena from Gwendid, and you're listening to the Metal Pit Podcast.
Welcome to the Metal Pit Podcast. I am your host, Blake. Now, we're a little late, I think, with this podcast, but we're going to catch up because I'm going to be recording like 3 podcasts in 5 days. But we might not release them as soon as I record them. But anyway, we're back for another one here. And I got my friend from New York, Georgina, with me. How are you, Georgina?
Hi, Blake. Hi, everybody. What's up?
Okay, and in case you're new here, I guess I'll go through my little blurb. Each week, we delve deep into the albums and bands that shape metal. Make sure you visit our website, www.themetalpit.org. And you can also visit the podcast website, which is themetalpitpodcast.com. So different than the website. And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at the Metal Pit. That's for our website. And for the podcast, it's at the Metal Pit Podcast on Instagram. And I just made a Facebook page for the podcast as well, which is the Metal Pit Podcast, I guess, facebook.com, the Metal Pit Podcast. And that I made that page up so people can, if you want to give, because we usually give a top 10 list, you can give your top 10 list. If you want to put it in the comments, of course, the page, I just created the page, so it'll have to grow first, but hopefully eventually people will get on there and give their top 10 list, or maybe comment your favorite song from the album we're talking about, or whatever. That kind of jazz is why I did that. We're a little late. It's like we're in like almost the second year, almost the third year starting the podcast, and I just made the page. But anyway, we got it going now. Okay, did I cover everything? I think I did there. Oh, and you can also
Yes.
email me podcast at themetalpit.org if you don't want to go on the Facebook thing, because not everybody's on Facebook either. So you can send me suggestions, comments, or maybe you want to be a guest sometime on an episode. Okay, so we're going to go back to 1996 and we're going to talk about Marilyn Manson's album. Oh,
Yes, we are.
Antichrist Superstar. Sorry, I just forgot the name. So, okay, and I always ask when you first heard. I know you always say it's high school. So, when did you first hear Marilyn Manson? Do you remember? I don't even know if I even remember, but I'll let you talk first and see if you can remember.
I'll be honest with you on this one. I'm kind of gonna draw a blank on this one. I honestly don't remember, but I have seen them live twice.
Oh,
But I
have you?
don't know specifically when I originally heard them. Well, I know that when I did hear Marilyn Manson, I remember I was like, what kind of name is this? Marilyn Manson. I was like, what the heck is this? Is it a woman? You know what I mean? Is this a female artist? Who is this person? So the name did intrigue me. But I can't chronologically remember when exactly, Blake. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Beautiful People hearing that, if that was because let's see, I think this is their third album, even though Wikipedia says it's their second album. But there's Smells Like Children, which came out in 1995, and then there's Portrait of an American Family, which was out in 1994. So I'm not sure
Right.
why Wikipedia says it's their third album or second album, this
Mm.
one. So I don't know why it says that. But I remember Dope Hat video also off the first album. I really like that song and video, but again, I can't remember if I went back to that after I heard Beautiful People, maybe because I've never seen him in concerts. I never seen him open for anybody else or anything. So I just, yeah, I can't remember why I ever heard Marilyn Manson, but I know I heard this album many times because I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just here. I'll do a little bit on Marilyn
Well, it's a
Manson.
concept album. It's a
Oh
concept album,
yes.
Blake,
Well,
right?
we'll get to that in
It's
a
a,
second. First, I just want to.
all right.
I mean, Marilyn Manson was born Brian Hugh Warner. I guess he didn't like that name for his stage name. He grew up in
Mm.
Ohio and was raised in a strict Christian environment. Of course, that's why he's an Antichrist superstar. Let's see, he had a fascination with the grotesque and the glamorous, and he created the persona Marilyn Manson, blending the names of Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson, which the whole band on this album and on the first few albums had the first name of a supermodel or an actress and the last name of a serial killer. So we had Twiggy Ramirez
Right.
on the guitars and bass, I guess, too. Daisy Berkowitz on the guitars, Madonna Wayne Gacy on the keyboards, and Ginger Fish. I'm not sure who Fish is. I don't know who the serial killer Fish is.
Yeah.
Looked it up. He's a drummer. Anyway, unless that's Fish from the TV show. Oh, shoot, no. Barney Miller show. There's a guy on there named Fish. But anyway, okay. And this album was produced. Okay, this was released October 1996, produced by Trent Reznor.
Oh, Albert Fish.
Albert Fish, is that a serial killer? Okay. I recognize the other last names. Actually, I just didn't recognize Fish. Anyway, this album was produced by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. I guess he wasn't of Nine Inch Nails then. Were they around then? Maybe they were. Okay, I don't know. And Manson, of course, and Dave Ogilvy also. And it's a very industrial sounding album. I really like Ministry, so maybe that's why I like this album too, because it's kind of along the same lines as Ministry's New World Order with the riffing and things like that. And let's see, anything else you want to say about the album before we get to it?
Well, I mean, I always got something to say. It's a concept album, right? And I think it's one of a trilogy from my understanding. And for me, I think it's his best work. And to think that I think Marilyn Manson wanted this to actually be a pop album, and it was Trent Reznor's vision that had a lot to do with it, of how it like ultimately came out from what I read. And according to the man himself, the triptych includes Manson's second, third, and fourth albums, The Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals, and Hollywood. And it's interesting because I was just kind of reading through everything, and the storyline actually plays out backwards. And in Hollywood, a man recognizes the flaws and the hypocrisies of the place he lives, and seeks to point out these issues in hopes of correcting them. And in Mechanical Animals, from what I could remember, there's like these oppressive forces that he's arguing against that draw attention to him and basically pull him into like this moral, like, reverse card, blaming him for society's ills. And in Antichrist Superstar, well, he stops basically giving a shit, and and he develops this God complex. So this is awesome, and yeah.
And this album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. It says it has sold almost 2 million copies. Oh, in the United States alone, sorry. But I'm sure, it's over 7 million copies worldwide. And I guess on their tour, it was Dead to the World Tour, they called it. And every show, at least in North America, was picketed by religious organizations because of the claims of bestiality and satanic rituals on stage, which of course is not true. But I guess he did cut himself or stuff like that, but whatever.
Yeah,
I remember Marilyn Manson, he idolized Alice Cooper until they found out it was just a act and he wasn't really like his lyrics and stuff. So Marilyn Manson wanted to be like his lyrics. And so that's why he was like that. Apparently, at least back then in 1996 or whatever, in the early time. Oh yeah, and the group was first going to be called. What was it going to be called? Marilyn Manson. No, I lost it. Dang, Marilyn Manson and the Boys or something.
Oh, good God!
I can't find it. But
I'm glad they didn't pick that. Oh my God, that doesn't fit right.
And I guess Daisy Berkowitz was fired during the recording of this album.
Right.
Which is another thing. Let me go back. Sorry. There's so much stuff on Marilyn Manson.
There is, and
Oh, sorry,
did you
it's Marilyn
notice?
Manson and the Spooky Kids. Sorry, not the boys.
Oh God,
But
that sounds weird.
yeah, so that was going to be the
Do you
name.
notice that there's a lot of negative stuff like on this album? I mean, there was one guy that completely like ripped this to shreds. And I said to myself, you know what? Someone that doesn't like Marilyn Manson or is like cancel culture like in like spirit, they're going to have a different attitude on this artist versus probably your and my opinion, right? They're going to say that this album has angry lyrics, it promotes murder, suicide. There's like eroticism and there's this satanic overall distaste for Christianity in this album. But it sounds like fun, right? I'm just kidding. And
Well,
for example, right? Just kidding. Right? It's art. It's an art form. It's an album. There's like the lines that include, and this guy like just kind of ripped it to pieces when I was reading it. I was like, this guy for real? He's like, for example, he goes, the lines include, "You can kill yourself now because you're dead in my mind. That's from a man that you fear," right? And "I am the faggot anti-pope" is in 1996. And these are just kind of the taglines. And then the other one was "Saw heaven and hell where lies where when God everyone dies." I think that one's reflecting God. Um, Another one is "I've got abortions in my eyes. I wasn't born with enough middle fingers." And that's like from Irresponsible Hate Anthem. And then one of my personal favorites, "I am the dinner whore. The world spreads its legs for another star." And that's Little Horn. I actually love that song, and we'll get into that obviously. And last one is "I will bury your God in my warm spit." That was Deformography. And that's a small sampling of nearly 80 obscenity strewn minutes of these like nihilistic gems from Marilyn Manson. So I think we're kind of the pros that love Marilyn Manson, but there's a lot of haters out there for sure that'll kind of quote these lyrics and say a lot of nasty things about it. But whatever.
yeah, well, for me, I kind of said this, but I don't really care what the group sings about. If I like the music,
Right.
I'm fine with it. Like, I mean, unless they're saying something. I mean, there's shit in here and it says the F word all the time, but like, who cares, really? And like,
It's metal and rock and roll, right?
yeah, like I don't know. And then of course they also we're kind of going all over the place here before we even started on the album, but they were also blamed as part of the reason for the Columbine High School massacre because
Right.
the
Right.
the two kids that did it, like Marilyn Manson, so of course that means it's his fault.
Right. And that was
And
some serious stuff, right? That was serious allegations too.
they had a bunch of concerts canceled in Russia. There was a bomb threat, so they canceled that concert there and a whole bunch of things. It looks like there was another school thing here. What's this one here? What's this other shootings? A
Yeah, there's a
school.
ton of material.
Yeah, another. Let's see. Somebody was armed with two revolvers. He went down the hallway. He was wearing a black Marilyn Manson T-shirt during the incident, so of course that means it's Marilyn Manson's fault. And somebody said that he said Hail Marilyn Manson or something. I don't know, whatever. But I don't care about all that crap. But anyway, okay. So do you want to talk about the album now, or do you want to talk about more?
Yeah, have you ever seen them? Here, you forgot to mention, like, have we seen them in
Well, we usually do
concert? Have
that
we seen them
after.
live?
We usually do that
Okay,
after.
so we'll save that for later.
But
We'll
I
save
haven't
that
seen
for
them.
later.
But you can talk about you seeing them. But
I have, I
but
have. I mean,
yeah.
I love Marilyn Manson, and I attended, ironically, his Antichrist Superstar showing in Stamford, Connecticut, and that was
Oh,
back in 1997, folks. And then I was privileged to see him again at an Ozfest. But I preferred the Hartford one because it was much more intimate, and it was my first mosh pit experience. And this is one of the most finely tuned and theatrical albums I personally ever heard. And he brought his A game to this album. So
okay.
yeah,
Now there's like 17 songs on here, so we don't
yeah,
necessarily
there is.
have to dig deep into each song. But
Mm,
I guess we'll start with the first one anyway. We'll kind of see because even there's 17 songs. It's only the last one that's just the outro thing. All the rest are full songs, I think. if I remember correctly. But anyway, we start off with Irresponsible Hate Anthem. And I'll let you start.
Okay. Well, the song starts with like this crowd chanting, "We hate love. We love hate." And then it kind of immediately presents us with like this distorted industrial guitar sounds in the background. And then within just a few seconds, eh, Manson's vocal performance kind of sounds amazing. I mean, I love this song. He starts off in a quiet, whispery tone, but quickly like gets into like this gritty, raspy growl, and he takes you back in time where powerful screaming in mainstream music like felt kind of authentic rather than non-authentic, if that's a thing. And this track stands out like fantastic. It kind of offers a variety, like across the board of sounds, and this would kind of be an excellent introduction to an album that would define Manson's career for many years ahead. And someone had said, I had read that in recent times, this track actually wouldn't be played live due to the content of the N word, right? And rape being in it. But you did you read that anywhere, Blake?
Uh,
No?
no, well, I don't know. Did I?
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
No, but a lot of people are like, I don't know if he'd sing this live. And I was like, you know what? Any song could be offensive these days, right? So I beg to differ, right?
Yeah.
So love it. Great song. A lot of attitude in
Just
there.
trying to. Yeah, it doesn't have that. Yeah, this album. Maybe you already mentioned this. It's supposedly divided into 3 sections, even though I didn't notice that back when I was listening to it then, because I probably had a CD at the time. I didn't have the vinyl of it because it must have been CD time. But anyway, the first section is the Hierophant, like, and then the next section is on Inauguration of the Worm, and then the last one is Disintegrator Rising. That's part of your concept though. But anyway, yeah, like, well, see, I like every song, like, as I listen to it, because I listen to this album once in a while, and like when we get to our top 10 albums from 1996, this is probably maybe one or two, maybe three of the albums that I listen to regularly out of
Right.
my top 10. So
It's great.
this is one of them. So, and this
Mm.
is the song you already mentioned this, but yeah, this says the lyric. The both, yeah. Oh, I wasn't born with enough middle fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love it.
But yes, that's a good song. And of course, the next one, "The Beautiful People," is probably his most well-known song ever. I'm assuming. I guess I don't really listen to much Marilyn Manson. I mean, he hasn't made a lot of albums lately, obviously, but he has a new album coming out next month. But I have
Yes.
no idea if he's still heavy industrial or if he's changing it or what he's doing, because he's getting up there in age too. But anyway, do you like "Beautiful People"?
Yes, I do. I'm so shallow. And it's definitely widely recognized, and it's his anthem. And over the years, right, this song has dominated rock radio, and it's even served as a theme song for a WWF SmackDown. So you know that this thing is like freaking popular. It's got this unforgettable drum riff and these haunting vocals, and it really does stand out. And it's undoubtedly the band's most recognizable song. And it's I know everyone says it's so overplayed, Georgina, but you know what? Right, Blake. It's overplayed. It totally is, but it's a true classic that continues to bring like smiles, and everyone's like banging their head to it no matter how often it's heard. So many can regard it as like his signature song, blah blah blah, but I believe that there are better songs that he has that deserve attention, but it's a great song. I love Beautiful People.
Well, it's an infectious riff. Like, I
Uh,
mean, I have, well, I don't know how many albums I have on my Spotify, so I'll have a playlist and it random songs, and all the time I'm skipping songs. But if "Beautiful People" comes on, I don't skip it, even though I've heard it so many times. It's just,
mhm.
I don't know, it's a great riff. And lyric, I don't know if you said this lyric at the start, but "There's no time to discriminate. Hate every motherfucker that's in your way."
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh
anyway,
my
yeah,
god.
like you said, it was a big radio song, even though some of the
Mm,
lyrics probably aren't that appropriate for the radio.
right. Go bleep bleep.
but whatever. Then we get up to something you're used to: dried up, tied, and dead to the world.
Oh my
I don't
goodness,
know what I meant by
Blake. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, I mean, obviously, this is a little bit different than Beautiful People, but it does have a more industrial sound that's kind of reminiscent of Nine Inch Nails, right? That's at least what I got. Then you got these catchy lyrics throughout the song. However, the instrumental stuff kind of falls short a little bit compared to the previous two tracks. They're distinctive, but not as distinctive. You get this kind of loud, quiet, and it gives a sense that something's kind of missing somewhere in there. But it's not a bad song. It's definitely worth listening to. But you can't compare it to the other two before. But I love it just the same.
No. Yeah. And yeah, it's a little slower and I don't know,
Yes,
sludgier.
it is a bit.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
But
Do you hear my chair cranking? I hope you don't. They're probably catching it. By the way, guys, if you hear they're cranking, it's just my office chair. Need some
I guess the
DW40.
lyrics deal with self-doubt and the transformation that Manson is undergoing, if the lyrics are supposed to be about himself, that is.
Mm,
I don't
mhm.
know if they are, but so the song is like you can feel the weight of the song like you're watching someone shedding their skin, which does sound like Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
I don't have any lyric quotes on that song, so. But anyway, yeah, it's still a good song. Like, there's no like I don't know if Marilyn Manson even sings ballads. Does he? Probably not.
I'd love to hear one. Now that I think of it, I'd love to hear
But
that.
this is probably one of the slower ones, but it's definitely
Yeah.
not a ballad or anything. It's still industrial. Like, then we go to Tourniquet. I hope I'm saying that right. What do you think of Tourniquet?
Well, I mean, it stands out as one of the strongest tracks on the album, and it kind of takes you back in time where when like emotional like emo songs had like a presence, and you got the chorus, you got the bridge, and there's this powerful intensity between those two, while Manson's vocals like truly shine in the slower verses. Like his voice captures like this mix of feelings. There's a bit of sadness there and anger and this kind of touch of madness that we kind of expect from him. And you've got the music video, which features like these bizarre and artistic visuals that we grow to love, and they kind of tell this captivating story filled with this striking imagery. It's good stuff. It's all him. You still with me, Blake? We're gonna run over an hour on this 17 tracks, but that's okay. He's worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I was looking through the lyrics of this song, but there's some weird things. But
Go ahead, pick something, even though it's
well,
weird. Come on, we're both a bunch of weirdos. Go ahead, say something.
take your hatred out on me, make your victim my head. I am your tourniquet. Okay, that's not too exciting. But
Oh
this
my
is
god.
this it's kind. I guess I read that this is like a love song, but again, he's not really singing it like your
Yeah,
Poison
totally
Ivy
love song.
And the next one, I think the next one is one of my favorites on the album, even though, like I say, I like them all anyway. But Little Horn.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, what do you think of Little Horn?
I love this song too. It stands out as one of the heaviest songs on the album for sure. You've got this relentless force that kind of doesn't slow down. It gives you like this experience that's typical for a heavy metal enthusiast like myself and everybody else out there that's probably listening. You've got these vocals; they're powerful, they're aggressive. Though they don't reach to the level of like this harsh screaming, so it makes the track really appealing, and fans that love heavy industrial metal just kind of foam to the mouth when they listen to this song. Unfortunately, it's the shortest song on the album, Blake. There's like this runtime, yes, it is, of just like 2:43 on there. So it's definitely the shortest track, but definitely a powerful one for sure. Love it. Love Little Horn.
Okay, well, we need some lyrics, so here's some.
Yeah.
There's an apple.
Yeah, throw some in here.
There's an apple in the pussy mouth. Now I am the dinner whore with the tumor in the TV mouth. I don't really know.
Yes. Oh my.
Somebody better get the dog to
Rated R today.
jaws wired shut to save the dick.
Oh my.
I better stop there. Okay.
Yes, you should.
Again, I don't care that much about the lyrics. Usually it's the podcast where I kind of look at the lyrics more.
Right.
I mean, at least you can understand what he's saying most of the time. Like
Yes,
some
yes.
kind of music, metal or whatever. So you can hear it as he's saying it, but it still doesn't bother me. You just like the songs. Okay, anyway. Then now we go to, this is the start of part 2, I guess, of the 3-part thing, but that really matters. But Cryptor Child, I guess we're saying. What do you think of Cryptor Child?
Yeah, this is like a weird name, isn't it? Like I remember when I first saw the title of the song, I was
Oh
like,
wait, it's not child, is it? It's Cryptor Chid. Sorry, I threw an L in there. There's no L. It's Cryptor Chid, if you say it like that.
Cryptor Cryptor Chid. This song, it kind of like creates this disturbing atmosphere, with this kind of warped main beat that he's got, and these unsettling like these background sounds, and then you've got like his haunting vocals, and I don't know. It feels like something out of a horror film, with and at times the song kind of gives me the creeps. Yet it's an incredible track. It really, really is. And then it kind of shifts halfway through, where it kind of chant sounds like a séance, right? And then you got like this little dramatic flair going on, and it kind of really draws you into the heart of the album. And it's definitely a bit longer than Little Horn, and it's good stuff. Perfectly timed song, really, really different. Cryptor Chid.
And yeah, and lyrics again, I don't really know. Maybe you know what these mean, but when the boy is still a worm, it's hard to learn the number 7.
That's probably Kabbalah. There's Kabbalah in there. He's a Kabbalist, I think. So the numbers game kind of means something to him.
I wish I had my balls. Oh, prick your. Oh, this is the one that. Yeah, this is the one where they have that voice going near the end where it just says, "Prick your finger. It is done. The moon has."
There's the number 7. You see, now you got me like, sorry, like number 7 in Kabbalah is kind of mystery, magic, and spiritual illumination, right? So he's probably going somewhere with that.
He says
Kabbalistic
that
something.
last prick your finger thing about 10 times in a row.
Yeah, prick your finger. It's like kind of blood something,
Yeah,
blood oath.
Angel has spread its wings. The time has come for. I thought it was better things, but it says here bitter things.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that's
could we
wrong or
expect
I'm
anything
wrong.
different?
I don't know. I thought he said better thing. But it says bitter.
Oh,
But maybe the lyrics are wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Okay.
no.
But anyway, yeah, I like that. Even though he repeats that thing 10 times, it sounds pretty cool, I think, and I like that.
Yeah, you're a horror guy. You dig this.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
That's why I like. Yeah, he could definitely write the soundtrack to a horror movie, which he probably has. I don't know. I didn't look into all the other albums. Okay, then we go to deformography. I don't know how to say it. What number is it? 8, 7? Number 7. What do you think?
Yeah, we've got a long way to go. This one brings us back. I think it's just kind of straightforward industrial rock. And you got this electric beat that kind of drives the entire track. And then you've got like this, I don't know, this hollow, the trash can like drums that you hear. But however, this song, for some strange reason, I over the years I don't kind of revisit this song. The others I kind of do. Um, the lyrics and the vocals are okay, and it sometimes it feels like it's much longer than it should be, but it's still a great track. But it just kind of sometimes feels a little longer than it needs to be.
I will bury your God in my warm spit. And this is one
Lovely.
where you keep saying rock star. Yeah, you're such a dirty rock star.
Oh yes, he is. We're not going to go there right now.
Okay, then we go to his. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Worm Boy. How do you like the Worm Boy?
Well, Worm Boy, this one showcases Manson's vocal talents, in my opinion, and than any other the other tracks. He demonstrates like this wide range of vocal styles here. From you've got this kind of regular tone to falsetto, deep tones, and then you've got like this intense yelling going on, and then he kind of captures the feelings of anger. At least that's what I got. Madness and this joy, all in like this one shebang. And the instrumentals might come off as like chaotic and weird to some people, but I think his impressive vocals kind of make the song on point. Good stuff. Worm Boy.
And yeah, and when you get to heaven, you will wish you were in hell.
Yes.
Don't pick the
Mwah.
scabs or you will never heal.
Yes.
Hmm,
Don't do that.
Which he has a lot of Anyway, but yeah, I like his vocals on this albums and stuff, and like,
I love it that you're getting into the lyrics. Okay, I love it. I think it's great.
well, I got my Spotify on, so I'm looking at every lyric as you're talking
Awesome.
to see if there's anything interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of material here.
Then we go to Mr. Superstar, and you can go ahead. Hmm. Oh, yeah.
You think he's talking about himself here?
Well,
Yeah.
I think he's talking about himself in the last one, saying he's the Worm Boy.
Right.
And now he's trying to be Mr. Superstar, I guess. Maybe it's a taunt directed at the worshiping nature of society. Maybe
Right.
he's talking that.
A bit. I mean, the this song, it might not stand out for like its lyrics as much, and but some people say that it feels kind of out of place on this album. But because I feel like there's a way that, yeah, you could think to yourself that it resembles a track that would be on the next album on Mechanical Animals versus this one. However, the song's still great, and you've got like this catchy rhythm, and there's like this nice variety of sounds in here. So it's a cool song. I dig it. Love it.
There was a lyric I was gonna say, but I think maybe I better
Oh,
not. He has a lot of I. He says a lot of I in the song. I know that I can turn you on. I wish I could just turn you off. I never wanted this. And he just
oh
keeps
my.
I never wanted this.
Yeah.
You could kill yourself on TV. I wish I was dead. I don't know, but he's all over the place.
Mm, mm.
He says, "Yeah, hey, Mr. Superstar, I killed myself for you." But anyway,
Paparazzi.
yeah, excuse me, all choked up over that sad song.
Oh.
Okay, now we got the angel with scabbed wings. This sounds like this is about you, Georgina, isn't it?
He gets scammed wings. Oh my god. Well, it's definitely a powerful industrial piece. Every time I hear wings, I just kind of like, ooh, this must be really cool. It features like this cool, fast-paced vocals during these verses, and that can hard to like. You can't really grasp uh, what's going on here, but they're still appealing. And the song takes a little bit of time to appreciate, but I definitely kind of go back and listen to this one for sure all the time when I'm listening to this whole album. Good stuff. I don't have anything negative to say about any of these songs.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, I guess we could discuss the lyrics and say bad, but who cares? Anyway, yeah, that's a good song. Now we got Kinderfield. Okay, do you want to talk about that one, or maybe we should just skip this one since we have?
Wait,
Some...
wait, Kinderfield?
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's soft. It's a soft track. There's, these emotional vocals that are kind of, you, paired with this spacey rhythm. And it's got like an intriguing, this intriguing atmosphere when you listen to it. You've got like this dark gothic vibe that stands out. And it reminds me a little bit from a couple of the tracks on Smells Like Children, and it fits perfectly in the lineup, um, uh, serving as a great lead-in to to the next song,
Yeah, looking through the lyrics on that song, they don't really make much sense. So I'm not gonna say. Okay. Okay, then we get to the title track, and it's kind of weird to put the title track as the 12th track on the album, and it's not even the last track. Antichrist Superstar. So how do you like the title track?
Well, the title track stands out as an incredible piece of art. I know it sounds lame to say that, but not really. It kind of it expresses these anti-religious themes, when I remember when I heard Antichrist Superstar, I always remembered like that whole Jesus Christ Superstar. He's kind of flipping this around, kind of thing. This song captures Manson's essence far better than The Beautiful People ever could. Lyrics are great. You got like this striking imagery. The vocal effects and the instrumentals kind of create this intense atmosphere that you get this raw and powerful feeling. And this track is likely the most well crafted and impressive on the album. It's definitely an essential song to listen to for kind of anyone that appreciates this genre, or I hate to say, any anti-religious music. You're gonna dig this, definitely.
And well, for me, like I say, it's the music is important to me, and I like Ministry and maybe Ramstein or
Mm-hmm.
Romstein, however you want to say it. So the
Rumstein.
riffing is just like that. Is so like there's constantly good riffing going on and stuff, and
Yes.
it's fast, and there's no crappy ballads or anything in it. And he's sure there's some weird lyrics, some off the ball shit, but but yes, it's just fun to listen to, even if now maybe if I was a Christian, I might not like it, but whatever. Now I didn't even recall that there was a song called 1996 till I was getting ready for the podcast. But the next song is called 1996, which is the year the album was released. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think of 1996?
This track is full of energy and anger, right? It's not just Marilyn Manson's performance. The whole song kind of feels like it's ready to kind of just like explode in your face, which is what makes it pretty great. And another song that critiques religion, it's perfect to kind of, blast. I know that some people probably like driving by a church and they're like, we're cranking this thing, and I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. The sound can get, pretty wild and a little bit disorganized, but it just enhances the overall listening experience. Good stuff.
Yes, this says some of those controversial lyrics, which you already kind of
Yes.
mentioned a few of them,
Yes.
so I won't repeat them.
Mm.
But yeah, he's anti everything in this song. Anti God,
Yeah,
anti
pretty
hate,
much.
anti things I fucked and hate,
Yeah.
anti Satan, anti other stuff. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, then we go to Minute of Decay. And this is a little slower one too. What do you think of
Yeah.
this?
Well, there's a combination of like this bass-driven instrumentals, then you have these emotional lyrics, and it creates, obviously, again, you get this heavy atmosphere, and it's conveying a sense of finality here. There's a contrast between some verses, and then you have this distorted guitar riff in the chorus, like type of situation creates like this, I don't know, what's the word that I'm looking for here, like this emotional impact. It really does. And then you have Manson's angry screams in the second verse coming in that kind of really emphasize the turmoil that this character is experiencing, right? There's the decision to keep the vocals raw and then and a process, like, because it kind of enhances the authenticity of the feelings, and it allows us, right, as the listener, to kind of connect a little bit more deeply with what this character is struggling with, right? It sounds like this gripping exploration of, decay and loss. And there's a lot of negative chatter from what I read online from this song, that the minute of decay kind of betrays Manson's destructive course, and like this dangerous agenda for teens. Like, I'm on the way down now. I'd like to take you with me. So, teenagers, listener discretion is advised. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Yeah, you already said everything about that song.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did I blink? Oh God.
Yeah, well, you were talking about what I'm not gonna quote any more lyrics, but yeah, anyway.
You can if you want to.
No, there's not
All
much to
right.
that one either. And then let's see, this is kind of the album closer. It's the last real song, I guess, because the other song, number 17, is actually a hidden song, I guess, because I think it's actually track 99 on your CD.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would probably, I probably sat there thinking, where the fuck's the next song? What the fuck's going on? You have to wait. I think it was every few seconds it would change a track until you finally get to number 99. And then it was just an outro to the album. But anyway, so we do talking. The last song is, well, where did I lost it? Where's the last song?
Was it Man That You Fear?
Yes, Man That You Fear. It is lost place.
Man That You Fear. Well, you want me to go first, or you want to take this one to the end?
No, you go.
Okay. Well, it's definitely a poignant song to close this this album, and it carries an incredible combination of, you got these haunting instrumentals, and Manson's vocal delivery creates like this deep moving experience for everybody, and it feels like a culmination of albums here, different themes, and it's kind of wrapping up the narrative in a way that's kind of heartbreaking yet profound, and you're listening to the album in a different kind of way with this song, and it's making it a necessary moment that kind of leaves this lasting impression of what Manson's ability is like to kind of evoke out of all of us uh, to this deeper level of whatever he's trying to convey to us, and it's definitely a standout track for sure. Yeah.
I love this screaming like, oh, scar, can you feel my power? And of course it gets to
Yeah.
shoot, motherfucker, shoot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
But well, actually, I was gonna say the Reflecting God. Actually, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on the album too. I forgot to mention that when we were on that. But yeah, and this is a great closer, even though it's not really the closer, but it's a great last song anyway. So, and then we don't need to talk about the other things since it's just music playing as an outro anyway. Okay, so I guess
Did we go over the Reflecting God? Did we go into that one or no?
I thought we did. Didn't we?
Did we? All right, if we did,
Yeah, that's the one where you said everything I was gonna say.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, the lyrics, he's a sense of hopelessness and
yes, oh
whatever.
boy.
You talked about that one. Yes, we did talk about that. But I think that's one of my favorites on the album too. Okay.
So many songs, I lost my place.
Yeah. Oh, rate it. We're gonna rate it. What do you give it out of 10?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Drum roll, please. It gets a 9. That was easy.
I'm gonna give it a 10.
Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! And you're a cheapskate on giving these 10s. Oh my god!
Yeah, there isn't anything wrong with it. I mean, I guess you could take 10 off for having to wait.
Oh man!
Tracks
wow!
to go by to get to number 99. And then
holy cow! You blew my head off with that one.
It's just an outro, but I don't know. Yeah, I like every song on it. And if I go back, like, because if we go, we'll talk. I'll look while you talk about seeing them live then. Because I've never seen them live. I don't even remember if I even
a great show live, really interesting. Back in Connecticut, really, really good stuff. I mean, the acclaim that's been given to this album is just kind of by devout followers like you and me, or we're not lying, right? It's one of the most finely tuned, definitely theatrical albums I've ever heard, and even for everybody that's heard of bad things like about Marilyn Manson in the news, and if you've listened to some of the other efforts and dislike them, then give this album a try. It's definitely worth listening to for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got about, what do we got here, like 10 or 12 albums. Now I definitely listened to the first, like the first two, and then Antichrist Superstar. The next, I don't think I liked Hollywood that much. I don't remember.
Right.
But the Golden Age of Grotesque, I really like that album. And I would say after that, I don't even know if I've even listened to given too much time to any of the albums after that. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I have. I mean, like I said, this is just kind of a staple. Marilyn Manson is a staple in my collection. Like I've got a whole mess of stuff, you know, and I'm definitely gonna pick up his new album once it comes out.
Because I
I,
don't
I
think
just
he
like
stayed
him.
as heavy, did he?
n-
After
n-
like the Golden Age of Grotesque, because he's like it's not as heavy. He still
Kind
has
of.
heavy
No, it's
moments,
not
I'm
as
sure, but
heavy. It's not heavy. I'm curious to see what he's gonna put out now with all of this other stuff, mumbo jumbo that's going on in his personal life. I'm just curious to see
there
what's
is a
gonna come out of
single,
him.
but I didn't try it out yet or nothing. But there
Yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
single out, I think.
it's okay. Single's good, but I don't know what
Okay,
the whole full album is going to look like. But this would definitely be interesting. I have some factoids. Do you want to hear them
sure.
about Brian, about lovely Brian, personable Hugh Warner?
Was he in the Wonder
Um,
Years TV show?
yes, I definitely was. Cute little boy. Let's squeeze his cheeks. Well, here I'm going to give you a couple of factoids. He's one of the most prominent members of the Church of Satan. He was accused of severing his own penis. Manson actually his behavior was a little bit outlandish.
Who
Back
hasn't done
in
that?
I know, really, it's so blasé and so boring now. He's got to up the ante on that one. But in 2003, he was arrested in Italy after a fan accused him of cutting off his genitals mid-concert, and he flung him into the audience. To prove his innocence, Manson then flashed the Italian police. Another factoid, supposedly, that I read is that he occasionally shoplifts. Um, Despite being worth over $25 million, Manson still feels the urge to kind of shoplift from time to time. Must be just kind of the thing of him like getting caught or who knows what. Another factoid is that his mother may have had Munchausen by proxy syndrome, syndrome. I'm sorry. And as a child, Marilyn Manson was often ill. He was very anemic, and he suffered multiple bouts of pneumonia. Little guy. And his mother told him that he was allergic to a number of unusual things, including things like eggs and fabric softener. And she also told him that his earlobes were too long, and she pressured him into getting plastic surgery to correct those once his ears took off. But Manson basically claims his mother suffered from this Munchausen by proxy syndrome, which is a form of child abuse where the parent causes illnesses into their child in order to fulfill their own psychological needs. So he believes he didn't actually suffer most of these illnesses and that symptoms were caused by his mother. And Manson seems to have come to terms with his childhood, apparently. Um, Him and Johnny Depp have matching tattoos. I don't know if you knew. I know you knew that one, right, Blake? You knew
No,
about the
no,
tattoos?
I
No, you
didn't know
didn't. No. Manson and Johnny Depp, they've got this close relationship, so close that they performed on stage together and attempted to buy antique Nazi guns together as well. They also have not one but two matching tattoos. I'm sorry, I thought it was one, but it's two, and both have the phrase "no reason" inked into their wrists. And Charles Baudelaire, the Flowers of Evil, the giant skeleton thing on their backs. Manson's vague about the meaning about the ink, but yeah, they share that. Um, should I keep going? I've got quite a few. How much time do we have?
Well, you can keep going if you
All
want.
right, Charlie
I'm
Manson
just
wrote him a
looking for
strange
stuff
note. Listen to
too.
this one. Charlie Manson wrote him a strange note. And Manson took part of his stage name, as we all know, right? Took part of Charlie Manson, the serial killer who basically terrorized Southern California in the 1960s. And the murderer has been behind bars for many, many years. But in 2012, he sent Manson a bizarre postcard. And the rambling note contains some vaguely threatening statements. And here they are. He quotes, "It's taken a long time to get there from where I could touch M. Manson. Now I got a card to play. You may look into my nonprofit, ATWA, and give Manson what you think he's got coming for air, trees, water, and you. Or I will pay Manson what you think Manson got coming. The music has made Manson into a Abraxas devil, and I'm sure you would want some of what I got from what I got. It's far out of balance." And Manson never responded to the convicted killer, by the way, on that note. Another factoid is that he launched an award-winning absinthe, and he was involved in some unique business ventures over the years, including the creation of his own brand of absinthe called Marcinth. What a weird name. Like in all true absinthes, it contains wormwood. It packs like this hefty 6.6% proof punch. The drink even won a gold medal at the 2008 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. But the musician reported um, that in 2015 he claims that he didn't want to drink the stuff anymore. So he kind of abandoned that venture. And another one is that another factoid that I read is that he had a bizarre relationship with his grandfather, right? Even before he adopted his larger than life stage persona that we all know, Manson's life wasn't exactly very normal. And as a child, Manson, then known as Little Brian Warner, would go down to his grandfather's basement and watch him masturbate to adult videos featuring bestiality. Hmm. And Manson says that he found his grandfather's predilections to be kind of repulsive at the time, but he now empathizes with the old man because he too has been misunderstood. Wah, 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 wah. Another one, really quick one, his personal hygiene isn't very great. Another one is that he has more than 450 scars. And another one that we all might not realize is that he has a sweet side. And Manson can certainly be scary, but he actually cares about his fans. And in 2015, Manson partnered with the Make a Wish Foundation to make this 14-year-old April Ramirez girl's dreams come true. So basically, Ramirez was a huge fan of Manson's work and diagnosed with Burkitt's leukemia in May of that year. She got to meet Manson in July and went to a concert where he dedicated one of his songs, and he also gifted Ramirez one of his lipsticks.
Oh,
Yeah. He's a big fan of video games. Manson has a hobby that some people might find surprising. In his spare time, he likes to play video games. Manson says that he's pretty good at Mario Kart and that his friend, I knew you were going to laugh there, and that his friend got him this little Japanese lawyer game, and he says it's fucking amazing. And it's most likely he means Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is the name of the game. And not only does Manson like to play video games, he also contributed them. His songs have been played in and used in numerous games, including The Darkness, the WWE SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth and Saints Row, the third, and he even appeared as an alien character in the video game Area 51, a role that was drawn to do to his distaste for mankind in general. Um, Another one is he collects creepy objects. He gave Rolling Stone a tour back in 2015 of his home in the Hollywood Hills, and he pointed out along the way a range of whimsical uh, images and things that he has around the house too, things that were downright unsettling. Um, and the last one that I'll mention is that Kmart refused to sell his album due to the inappropriate nature of this album and the album cover and its content. Walmart and Target refused to stock this album and Mechanical Animals, I believe. The cover featured Manson's head edited into a naked alien's body, and they didn't dig it. And I know that you mentioned the situation before when we were chatting regarding the Concubine High School shooting, so I won't get into that again. Um, but there's an interesting timeline, and he's also had some high profile relationships. Like I remember when he married Dita Von Teese. I mean, she was gorgeous back in 2005, I believe, and then he divorced her in 2006. A very short term marriage, because apparently he had some inappropriate relationships with other women. Um, so that didn't end very well. But she was a fox. Dita was a fox. But like you said, the new news was that Marilyn Manson has a new album, and I believe it's called One Assassination Under God, right? Chapter 1.
Yeah, I guess.
So you know what I'm thinking, right? If it's chapter 1, there's going to be a chapter 2 and a 3, like a trilogy kind of thing.
Yes, possibly, if he's got it in him. It's been a while
That's
though
true.
since he had a last album, isn't it? I think, but I'm not
Yeah.
really sure. But anyway, let's get to our. Are we done with that? I think we are. Yes. Let's get to our top 10.
There's more, but we'll keep it short. That's the short version. There's much more. Folks, look online.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll do my top 10 of the year 1996 first, since you were just talking for a while. So I'll give you a break and I'll do mine first.
Thank you. I need a glass of water.
So my number 10 album is King Diamond's solo album, The Graveyard.
Oh.
Yeah, but like I said during the a lot of these I don't really
Mm.
go back and listen to anymore. I mean, that's one of them, but I just tried to figure out how I would rank them. So my number 9 is Apocalyptica, which
Oh.
was the four guys that were the album was four
Yeah.
cellos playing Metallica. I think, as it beat out Metallica's Load album on my list. Since it's not on my list, even though there's still some songs on it, I don't mind. But yeah, there's too many songs on it. And number 8, we got Sepultura with Roots, Bloody Roots. It was just called Roots, I guess. Sorry, the album.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Number 7, I got a Canadian thrash metal band, Annihilator, with Refresh the Demon.
Yes.
And number 6, I have a group that we mentioned a few times here, Ministry, with their album Filth Pig. Number 5, we got King Diamond again, but this time as part of Merciful Fate with their album Into the Unknown.
Wow. Okay.
I prefer Merciful Fate over King Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, we got Halloween with The Time of the Oath. Always liked Halloween and most of their albums, so they're up there. Number 3, we got Pantera with the great the Great Southern Trendkill, which is probably is that their last good album or their last album? I can't remember if it was or not, but anyway, it's a good one. And number 2, I have Manowar with Louder Than Hell. Because I love Manowar. Don't you love Manowar?
Yeah, I do. I didn't expect you to put them up there. Wow. One close and
And my
everything.
number 1 is the album we're talking about, Marilyn Manson, Antichrist.
Very cool. Yeah, that's actually a really nice list. That was very impressive, Blake.
Okay,
That
there
was
was a
some cool
bunch of
stuff.
others, close. I don't know, like Bruce Dickinson had an album, Dio had an album, but they just weren't, their best albums. Like I said, Metallica had Load, but that's obviously not one of their best. Stuff like that. So let's hear yours.
I got some
Rush
thrashy
is
stuff.
Rush on your list?
No, it's not. Not on this one. But there's a lot of thrashy stuff on this one for 1996. Number 10 is Halloween. I picked The Time of the Oath as number 10. Number 9 is for me. I'm a Ministry fan just like you. Filth Pig got number 9. Number 8, I threw in Overkill. I love my Overkill. The Killing Kind went in there number 8. 7, Sepultura Roots. I'm right with you on that one. Definitely put them on the list. 6, I threw in some Opeth, Morning Rise. They got a lot of Airplane. 5, I put in Iced Earth. Are you an Iced Earth fan?
Oh,
I think you are. The Dark Saga. Thought that was a pretty damn good
I
album.
listened to that a little, but I'm not that like except for Halloween. I'm not that much into power metal, really. Necessarily.
I threw that in there. I even
But
tossed that one in
I
there.
think I had that album, but it's just not as I
Mm.
didn't like it as much as the best. So.
Number 4, I got Marilyn Manson in there. I got Our Boy Antichrist Superstar. Number 3, Typo Negative. I put in October Rust
Mhm.
because Peter was so cute. 2 is Annihilator. Refresh the
really?
Demon. Yes, I love that
Really?
album. I really love that album. That's why when you mentioned it, I was like, yes.
I
And
didn't
remember,
even
I'm a
know if you
Connecticut
knew who
heart.
they
I was born
were
in
since.
Canada. Are you kidding me? I was born in
Oh,
Canada. Did you forget? I might be in New
yeah.
York. I was born in Quebec.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I love Annihilator.
Okay.
I even have an Annihilator shirt somewhere in my like collection of like black T-shirts somewhere.
Oh,
And number 1, drum roll, please. You guys know I'm a Pantera fan. The Great Southern Treadkill won the number 1 spot. Ta-da!
cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, that was good. I think we're right at an hour, I think, or so. Unless I have to edit
Are
out.
we? God, and I thought we
Swear.
were going to go over. I thought we were going to go over because there's so much going on here.
Well, it was good though.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so if you've never heard of Marilyn Manson before, I don't know if that's possible. Maybe if you're under 30, if you're not offended easily, check out this album.
Exactly. Give it a
And
spin.
if everything goes correctly on scheduling, the next podcast I'm going to be on with a couple of females. I'll just introduce them
Aren't you
today
lucky?
because one of
Ooh.
them I can't even remember her last name, so I don't even know if I know it yet. So I just asked her what her first name was today. You know, people have weird Instagram names sometimes, and it's not the real name. But anyway, I'll just talk to them. But anyway, we're gonna do the album by Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake. So that's the album we're gonna do that one. I think it's
Nice.
we did a Lamb of God album.
Yes.
And I think I'm gonna have a contest coming up for the podcast after that. Me and two
Are
guys.
you?
We're gonna do something about thrash, not on an album, but we're just gonna talk about thrash, the genre in general. And I think I'm gonna put a contest. I got to put it together or whatever because we want people to participate and give us their top 10 lists and stuff like that. But I'll have more about that either on the website, Facebook, wherever, Instagram. I'll mention it more maybe on the next podcast if I figure it out before then. What I'm doing exactly because we want to get some fan participation going
Cool.
on.
That sounds like a lot of fun, Blake.
Okay, yes. Okay, so thanks, Georgina, for joining me, and thanks everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you, everybody. Keep it heavy.